Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Good American Family Episode 7 Recap. Natalia won't back down. The 7th episode of Good American Family recently aired on Hulu. The latest episode was fittingly titled, If You Tell a Story Well Enough, and continued to portray the back-and-forth struggle and mudslinging between Christine and Michael Barnett on one hand and Natalia Grace on the other. Good American Family had kicked off its premiere episode with Christine Barnett being taken into custody and Michael Barnett being convinced by the police investigators to testify in court against his wife. The latest episode of the show, in true non-linear fashion, picked up from this point in the narrative. The latest episode began with the heartbreaking trials and tribulations of Natalia Grace, who is suddenly confronted with the fact that she's not a child, but an adult, and is relocated from the children's wing to the adult wing at the psychiatric facility where she was being held for evaluation. After her ordeal about getting her legal age changed was over, she was sent to live on her own until Cynthia Mans and her family came to the rescue. While Cynthia believes in certain aspects of Natalia's story, they decide to litigate against the Barnetts in court, asking them to change Natalia's age back to that of a child. By this time, the Barnetts are shown to be living in Canada. Christine herself is basking in the popularity accorded to her by the launch of her book, while Michael's grip over his family and his relationship with his wife has become further relaxed. After a host of unheard requests, Michael finally comes down to a court in the States for the hearing regarding Natalia's age, but doesn't speak to her in person. The judge rules that there's no need to update Natalia's age. On the other hand, Detective Brandon Drysdale digs deeper into the case, and after speaking to the concerned doctors, realizes that Natalia's adult age was faked by the Barnetts. While Kristen and Michael go on the offensive to prove that Natalia was a cold-blooded killer set out to cause them harm, Natalia gives an interview of her own, explaining her own side by the end of the episode. The character of Detective Drysdale, played by Dulé Hill, is crucial to furthering the narrative of the Hulu show's latest episode. The actor recently spoke in an exclusive interview with TV Insider. Hill opened up about his character and the references he drew from real life to perfect his performance. In episode 7 of Good American Family, titled Natalia Won't Back Down, the simmering tensions finally boil over, the family fractures in new ways, and one woman refuses to be silenced. The show continues to blend sharp emotional drama with biting social commentary, and this week, Natalia takes center stage. The episode opens with a quiet morning scene, almost deceptive in its calm. Birds chirp outside the Harper family home, coffee brews in the kitchen, and the camera pans to Natalia sitting alone at the dining table. Her face is stony, eyes fixed on a stack of documents. We realize quickly this is not going to be a peaceful episode. Last week ended with the bombshell revelation that Frank, her husband, had filed a countersuit against her attempt to protect the family home from his risky investments. This week picks up mere hours later. The episode wastes no time letting us know that Natalia is done playing the role of the agreeable wife. At the breakfast table, the usual Harper family choreography is off-kilter. Teen daughter Jess scrolls on her phone, obviously aware of the tension but unwilling to poke the bear. 8-year-old Milo is the only one oblivious, making spaceship noises with his spoon. Natalia's eyes never leave Frank, and when she finally speaks, it's with ice. "You think I'm going to just sit here and let you burn down what I built?" Frank fires back, defensive, insisting his business venture is their future. "We're supposed to be partners, Nat." But Natalia finally is past believing that line. "You stopped being my partner when you started lying to me," she says. From here, the episode fractures into multiple threads, all orbiting Natalia's determination. She visits her lawyer, a calm and fiercely competent woman named Marisol Vega, who becomes a new standout character. Marisol warns her that Frank's legal team is aggressive and playing dirty. But I've seen worse, she tells Natalia. You've got something they don't. The truth and the show interweaves Natalia's personal struggle with flashbacks. In beautifully filmed sepia-toned sequences, we see a younger Natalia, fresh off a long flight from Colombia, stepping into her first apartment in America. No subtitles are needed as the visuals and performances do the heavy lifting. She worked 3 jobs, survived on black coffee and canned beans, all while sending money back home. These scenes remind us that Natalia is more than just a mother and wife. She's a builder, a survivor. Back in the present, Natalia pays a visit to her estranged brother, Carlos, who has been living just a few towns away, but hasn't been seen since season 1. Their reunion is tense but ultimately redemptive. Carlos had once warned her about Frank's controlling ways, and Natalia, back then, had shut him out. But now she needs allies. I should have listened to you, she says. Carlos smiles, hands her an old family photo, and replies, "You're listening now. That's what counts." The family drama is also mirrored in the kids' subplot. Jess, trying to find her own identity outside her parents' collapsing marriage, secretly applies for an internship with a civil rights organization in D.C. when Natalia finds out. She's initially furious, worried, not controlling, but later encourages her daughter. "Don't ever let someone else decide your life for you," she tells Jess, echoing her own emotional arc. Midway through the episode, the stakes escalate when Natalia receives a threatening letter from Frank's lawyer, suggesting that if she continues to fight the divorce and property split, he'll go after full custody of Milo. It's a gut punch, and the camera lingers on Natalia's face, her lip trembling, but only for a moment. Then her jaw sets. She walks straight into Frank's office. Yes, he's still living in the guest room, and delivers one of the best monologues of the series so far. "You think I'm afraid of you. You think because you made the money, you made this life. I built this. I cooked the meals, balanced the books, held this family together every time you fell apart. And now you want to punish me for not going quietly. Well, guess what? I'm not going anywhere." Frank doesn't answer. He just watches her, and for the first time in a while, he looks small. The episode climaxes at the school's American Family Heritage Night, where families bring dishes and stories from their cultural backgrounds. It's an emotionally charged event given the Harpers' unraveling situation. Natalia brings empanadas and a photo board of her family from Colombia. Her speech is simple but powerful. "I came to this country thinking I had to forget where I came from to be accepted. But I was wrong. My strength is in remembering, in holding on, in refusing to disappear." The camera pans across the crowd, proud faces, teary eyes, and yes, Frank, standing in the back. He's not the center of her story anymore. The episode ends on a quieter but no less powerful note. Natalia returns home, kicks off her heels, and sits beside Milo, who is working on a school project about heroes. He asks her, "Who's your hero, Mom?" She smiles, pulls him into her arms, and says, "You are, because you remind me why I fight." Cue the credits, but not before a final twist. Marisol calls Natalia just before the screen fades to black. "We've got a lead on something in Frank's financials," she says. "It's big." Natalia's eyes widen and her face hardens again. The fight's far from over, and she's not backing down. Episode 7 of Good American Family is a masterclass in character-driven drama. Natalia has been the moral backbone of the series for a while, but here she's also its engine. "Natalia won't back down" isn't just a title, it's a declaration, and by the end of the episode, it's a promise. She's not just surviving anymore. She's reclaiming. What did you think of Natalia's big moment? Was it overdue or perfectly timed?